Yamuna tira vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Dana Balabha Girivara Dhare Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Nitai Gora Haribo. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Grantharaj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hare Krishna. It's a great honor and responsibility to speak on the topic of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the holiest of all the places, Shri Brajbhumi, Vrindavan Dham, in front of so many exalted Vaishnavas, beginning with Srila Prabhupada disciples. So before I start, I wanted to ask for your blessings so that I could say something which is meaningful and useful for everyone, beginning with myself. So we will chant our prayers dedicated to Hari Guru and Vaishnavas, and please pray for Sagara Swami that he would address the topic in appropriate and not too boring way. After all, it's within your interests. Om Agyantimirandasya Ginanjana Shalokaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadam Ayam Dadati Swapanantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhutaya Mahatprema Puro Vibhur Nirmaya Kshatir Mushupurusha Bhungte Gunam Sadasa Sadasatmaka Elang Krishishta Bhagavan Vachamsi Me. So we continue reading from the 10th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, chapter 66, which is entitled Paundraka, the false Vasudeva, text number 9. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham tat apidhāyājña. Sorry, that's ajña. Mukham tat apidhāya ajña. kaṅka-gṛdhra-vaṭair vṛtaḥ. kaṅka-gṛdhra-vaṭair vṛtaḥ. śayiṣyase hatas tatra. śayiṣyase hatas tatra. Bhavitā śaraṇaṁ śunām. Bhavitā śaraṇaṁ śunām. Mukham tat apidhāyājña. Sorry, it's yajna. Ajña, yes, ajña. Mukham tat apidhāyājña. Is it ajña or ajña? Ajña, sorry. Yeah. Okay. kaṅka-gṛdhra-vaṭair. śayiṣyase hatas tatra. Bhavitā śaraṇaṁ śunām. Please. kaṅka-gṛdhra-vaṭair. Ladies, please. Mukham tat apidhāyājña. kaṅka-gṛdhra-vaṭair. mukhaṁ tat apidhāyājña kaṅka-gṛdhra-vaṭair śayiṣyase hatas tatra bhavitā śaraṇaṁ śunām mukhaṁ tat apidhāyājña śayiṣyase hatas tatra Synonyms, please repeat. Mukhaṁ, face. Tat, that. Apidhāya, being covered. Ajña, O ignorant man. Kaṅka, by herons. Gṛdhra, vultures. Vaṭaiḥ, and vaṭa, birds. Vṛtaḥ, surrounded. śayiṣyase, you will lie. Hataḥ, killed. Tatra, thereupon. Bhavitā, you will become. śaraṇaṁ, shelter. śunām, for dogs. So this is very exciting response of Sri Krishna to Paundraka's challenge. When you lie dead, O fool, your face covered by vultures, herons, and vaṭa birds, you will become the shelter of dogs. Purport by disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Prabhupada ki jai. Paundraka foolishly told the Supreme Lord to come to him for shelter. But here Lord Kṛṣṇa tells him, you are not my shelter, but rather you will become the shelter of dogs when they happily feast on your dead body. Srila Prabhupada vividly describes this scene as follows. Lord Kṛṣṇa told Paundraka, when I shall destroy you, foolish king, you will have to conceal your face in disgrace, and when your head is severed from your body by my disc, you will be surrounded by meat-eating birds like vultures, hawks, and eagles. At that time, instead of becoming my shelter, as you have demanded, you will be subjected to the mercy of these low-born birds. At that time, your body will be thrown to the dogs, who will eat it with great pleasure. Hare Krishna. Mukhaṁ tat apidhāyājña kaṅka-gṛdhra-vaṭair śayiṣyase hatas tatra bhavitā śaraṇaṁ śunām. When you lie dead or full, your face covered by vultures, herons, and vaṭa birds, you will become the shelter of dogs. So this is a kind of topic which is not pleasing for many people. You know, bloody sin, challenges, because some people, they want to see Krishna only dancing and enjoying, you know, something without any blood. But yes, there is blood also in Krishna consciousness. When there was a first picture drawn of Nrsimhadev tearing Hiranyakashipu, and Prabhupada looked at it and he said, why there is so little blood? There has to be plenty of blood. The scene has to be as bloody as possible. So Krishna consciousness involves everything, even fighting, because Krishna is enjoying everything. He is the topmost enjoyer, And at least for me, it's a very familiar topic, discussing someone like Paundraka, because this is someone I can easily identify myself with, challenging the Supreme Lord and pretending to be God. This is really what we came to material world for. Paundraka is a very interesting character because some sources say that he's a reincarnation of Bena Maharaj, who always wanted to be God, so didn't succeed. In the first place, was cursed and killed by Brahmanas. But then, in here, he had full opportunity to play the part of God. And interestingly enough, his father's name was also Vasudeva. Just not husband of Devaki, of course, but different Vasudeva. So happened to be namesake of Krishna's father. And I guess when Paundraka would hear Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, he would become very excited. Thanks God they start worshipping me. They recognize me as the Supreme Lord. So, he was identifying himself with Sri Krishna Vasudeva in that sense. And of course, he was always jealous. Why Krishna is glorified as Vasudeva? Why that Vasudeva is glorified? Why not this Vasudeva is glorified? And as scriptures say, he went to perform 12 years of austerities, very severe austerities, to please Lord Shiva. And when Lord Shiva appeared in front of him, asking what kind of boon he wants, the idiot, he asked to look like Krishna, to be like Krishna in external appearance. If he would be smart enough, I guess Paundraka could easily, if he wanted to commit suicide, he could easily jump from the height of his false ego to the level of his IQ. That would definitely kill him. So he was not smart enough. And therefore, he didn't ask to be like Krishna in his qualities. If he would ask that boon, that would be perfection, right? To be like Krishna in humility, in simplicity, in love towards all living entities, in service attitude. What is devotional service? It is when we realize that Krishna is serving me 24/7, and we think, let me reciprocate. Let me also do something for Krishna. He's done so much for me. Since time immemorial, he served me in every single way. So can I reciprocate with him? So that's called devotional service. As Prabhupada say, that devotional service begins with the sense of gratitude. But he wanted to become God. He didn't want to serve God. He didn't want to surrender to Krishna. Rather, in here, he was demanding that Krishna should surrender unto him. And Krishna said, you become my shelter. Some people, they think, this verse from Bhagavad Gita 5:29, Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. So they think this verse applies to them, that they can enjoy all the austerities and sacrifices everybody is doing. They can be the supreme friend and supreme master of everybody. So that was Paundraka's illusion. And it's really important topic because this is what we came to material world for, to try to imitate God, to try to be God rather than surrender unto God. That's why Krishna consciousness movement would never be as popular as so many pseudo-spiritual movements when they tell people, you just chant this mantra and do this little yagya or puja and you will become God in 3 days. Just pay us good money and we will provide you with opportunity to become God. Because this is what people want, even religious people. This is what they're looking for, right? There was a funny episode when Srila Prabhupada was traveling on the train and he had few of his sannyas disciples with him. And some local people came to Srila Prabhupada asking for his blessings, Ashirvad. Swamiji, please give us Ashirvad. Prabhupada looked at them. He realized what they want. And he said, are you sure you want my Ashirvad? You want my blessings? Look at them. They got my blessing. They come from very wealthy country, very wealthy family. Now look at them. They don't even have shoes. You want my Ashirvad? And they said, Swamiji, let us think about it. And they backed out. So, yeah, Krishna consciousness is not something which many people would be interested in the material world. That's why Manusyanam Sahasreshu devotees are very rare personalities. But Paundraka Vasudeva type are everywhere. And of course, we could discuss in so many ways about this type of conditioning. Interesting angle is, at least for me personally, how merciful and how kind Krishna is, even to such characters as Paundraka. That gives hope, at least to myself, that Paundraka demanded that I want to become a shelter, even for you. And Krishna said, okay, you will become the shelter, but not for me, for dogs and vultures. You will become their shelter. They will take shelter in your dead body after I kill you. And later, he said, when I sever your head with my Sudarshan chakra. And funny enough, that, Paundraka demanded from the Supreme Lord, you falsely took my symbols, these Shankha Chakra, Gada Padma, these divine symbols belong to me, so you give them to me, you give them back to me. And Krishna said, sure. We'll start with Sudarshan. Catch it if you can. What happened? Couldn't catch. So it's interesting that sometimes we think, why only Krishna? Or we might think, why only Krishna has to be the Supreme Lord? Why not somebody else? Like someone I see in the mirror, for example. Why there is no election in the spiritual world? Because Krishna is detached, right? If he has topmost detachment, he should also be detached from his godhood, from his supreme position. Why can't he give it to someone else? Paundraka wanted it. Why couldn't he make him God? Well, Krishna tried. You want my disc? Catch it. So that's this reality that no one can exceed Krishna in anything. Krishna is the best in everything. And so even if someone is foolish enough trying to, possess these divine symbols, they don't have that qualification. So by default, Krishna has to remain the Supreme Lord forever because he's only one to fit to have that position. And so, but then, as we will learn, after being killed, Krishna fulfilled his desire because he wanted to be like God with 4 hands. So he assumed that form. He attained not only impersonal liberation as most of the demons, but actually he got sarupya mukti. He assumed the form which is like God, very much so. As we learn from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, when Gopkumar would enter the Vaikuntha planet, before entering he would see one 400-handed effulgent person coming out of the gates of Vaikuntha, and he would offer him his obeisances, glorifying him as the Supreme Lord, and that person would cover his ear, would say, no, 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 I'm just his servant. Then another one, even more effulgent, he would think this definitely the Supreme Lord would offer him obeisances. That person would say, no, no, I'm just his servant. So Vaikuntha means so many people, they look like Narayan, but they are actually devotees. So Paundraka achieved that level. So in a sense, Krishna fulfilled all his desires. You wanted my disc, take it. You wanted to be like me, be like me. So Krishna is very, very merciful, even towards the worst of the demons he kills. And of course, Paundraka had to suffer greatly for his offensive mentality, and his offensive attitude came from arrogance and bad association, actually. So bad association, this is where it all starts. That's why Lord Chaitanya, when he was asked what is the behavior of a Vaishnava, what was the first and foremost thing he said? Asat sangatyaga Vaishnavachar. So the first point in devotee behavior is to avoid bad association, because this is where it all starts from. For example, we might be surprised looking at many demons, who they were and how they became demons, and discover that mostly they were devotees, and great devotees too. Even such personality as son of Krishna, son of Varahadev and Bhumi Devi, Bhaumasura, he became a demon by bad association. Even such a great devotee as Vivida, who was trying to fight with Lord Balaram. As we know, in Ramayana, it was a great devotee, direct associate of Hanuman, serving Lord Ramachandra, but then became jealous of Lakshmana. It's interesting, right? You serve the Lord, but you become jealous of Guru, you turn into demon. And the first point is jealousy and pride lead to bad association. So that's why, bad association can turn even great devotee into a demon. Of course, great demon. And we could discuss forever on the topic, but what is the most important for us is antidote. What do we do? And of course, sadhusanga, sarva shastra koi, lavamatra sadhusanga, sarva siddhi hoy. The best remedy for bad association is to have good association. And this is why we come to this wonderful holy place, to associate with wonderful devotees, saintly personalities. And as Srila Prabhupada would say that the entire spiritual world is situated here on the premises of Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir. Everything is here, and all the holy association we might ever dream of is also here. But the great devotees, they do not necessarily go around advertising themselves as great devotees. And because I have a good fortune of visiting this wonderful place for decades together, I happen to know some of the amazing, wonderful devotees residing in here, and not just residing for their own benefit, but actually taking huge responsibility in Srila Prabhupada's mission. And the first and foremost person I could think of is our Panchagauda Prabhu, very senior Prabhupada disciple, and very interesting, it says that glorification of the Lord includes glorifying His devotees. So I wanted to say a few words about that. That when I asked him yesterday, for the sake of knowing, for how many years you carry the responsibility of managing here, he said, since 93. So for over 30 years, Panchagauda Prabhu is holding the responsibility for managing this, we can say, most important temple, because this is the holiest of all the places, but it's not an easy place even to be. How many of you are recognizing that even to visit Vrindavan is not an easy thing? Because Vrindavan is such an intense place, right? If you do something wrong, there can be so many bad reactions. What to speak of not just residing here, but actually carrying the responsibility, and very tough responsibility. Because, as they say, the candle is lighting the entire room, but there is always dark under the candle. And it's interesting that all the years I know him, one thing I don't know is where his office is. And I'm not even sure if he has one, because he's always in the temple, always jolly, always welcoming, always taking part in so many devotional activities, always looking after his devotees. And he is surrounded by a wonderful team of devotees. So many, like even listing all the devotees would take the rest of the time easily. Huge team, but few personalities I could think of is Janardhan Maharaj, for many, many years, very steady, and they attract amazing devotees as well. One of them is also Bhakti Rakshak, Radha Golokananda Maharaj. It's quite a long name to remember. Even my name, people always make mistakes. They say either Bhakti Sagara Swami or Bhakti Rasayana Swami. Something they leave out in the middle. I'm telling that for simplicity's sake, just remember Sagar Swami. Because as one devotee told me, I have trouble remembering names which are longer than 2 syllables. So Sagar is short enough for everyone to remember. But Maharaj's name, I remembered immediately because he's such an outstanding personality. And, same like Panchagauda Prabhu, very, very humble, always in the back. Even today, he's right in the back, not in front. And his service attitude is mind-blowing. I had an opportunity in my brahmachari days to interact with him. I brought a group when he was vice president in Glory of India temple in Delhi. And I requested, could we have some prasadam rooms for these devotees? He said, sure. He provided very nice rooms, excellent prasadam, then personally looked after us. And then he asked, how do you go to the train station? I said, we booked taxis. He said, no need. I will arrange temple bus. All of you can go in the bus. And then the driver didn't turn up in the morning, just slept through. And I told Maharaj, what do we do? The driver didn't come. We're going to be late for our train. He said, no problem, I will drive personally. And driving in India, bus, Indian bus, is a big challenge. But he didn't care. Even there was an accident, but he didn't care. He just sat at the steering wheel and went ahead. And I asked Maharaj, you've done so much for us, no charge. Could we please give at least some donation for all your care and all the effort? And you know what was his response? That blew my mind, especially in India. He said, you will be going to so many places and people will be expecting so much donations from you. Just hold on to your Lakshmi, give them to where you have to do, and here it's all free service. We don't need so much service attitude, complete selflessness. And they naturally attract like-minded people, so many wonderful devotees who are helping here, Dharmatma Prabhu and many others. So if you think they are doing great service, if you're really happy with them, please say Hari Bol to them. And these are wonderful devotees we could associate with and learn from their example. For example, I really like, be near Panchagoda Prabhu, because he's always so personal, always cracking so many jokes, and always in a jolly mood. I don't know how that happened, but I guess he got so much mercy from Srila Prabhupada and from Srimati Radharani that he's always blissful in his Krishna consciousness. Amazing example. And so association with devotees like that, and of course there are so many more devotees in here, so association with all these wonderful devotees is a perfect antidote against all the Paundraka propensities which are naturally dormant in the heart of every single conditioned soul in this material world. And if we associate with these devotees and if we serve these devotees, then we are very well protected from all the troubles in the material world. Hare Krishna. So thank you all very much. If there are so many very, very senior Vaishnavas here, if anyone wants to add something or subtract, correct, whatever maybe I wrongly said, you're welcome to do so. We have a microphone. Please share whatever thoughts you have.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for the class. Nice to see you.
Hare Krishna.
On the topic of being in Vrindavan, it's just so sweet. And then one day you wake up and somehow you're not feeling that sweet. And you realize, oh, I visited this place. They're asking me for some money, something. You give when you can sometimes, but it's unavoidable. You get someone in the wrong mood, or I'm in the wrong mood, I just woke up, whatever. Is it unavoidable to just how offend someone? Even if you didn't mean it, or maybe, yeah. And I'm just thinking, maybe that's why I'm not feeling it today, because, the other day I just didn't give, or was a little bit too rough in saying, no, not now, or something like that. I was thinking this morning of Jagai and Madai and how Lord Chaitanya absorbed all their sinful reactions. Is it okay, is it possible to pray to Lord Chaitanya, to the Vaishnavas, please, maybe I was too abrupt, too rough, too something with someone. I didn't mean, I don't know them. I don't know if I know them, I can go personally apologize, but if I don't, is it possible to pray like that? Is there hope, some hope in that to not lose the mercy of being here? What do you think?
Is your question, can we pray to become free from the karmic reactions from our past?
The offense.
Well, actually that would be desire for liberation, because this is what liberation means, to become free from karma. This is not something we should be praying for. Rather, we should pray to become Krishna conscious, because if we become Krishna conscious, then our consciousness will change, and together with the change of our consciousness, the environment will change as well. How many of you incidentally noticed that if you have kind of maybe aggressive or suspicious or any type of negative attitude towards others, they respond in the same way? Anyone notice that? So that's very clear. And on the other side, if you have the loving and welcoming attitude towards others, others tend to respond in the same way. So it shows how important consciousness is, and that's why what's the topmost level of consciousness? That's Krishna consciousness. Everything depends on that. If we are Krishna conscious, our environment will change, everything will change. But as long as we are in the material consciousness, we have to deal with this rough surface of Braj. Actually, just the other day I was remembering this amazing song. It has no author, which means that the author of this song was too humble and he didn't want himself to be glorified. He just wanted the Lord to be glorified. So it's a Hindu song which is called Jaya Jaya Madhava Madana Murari Radhe Shyam Shyam Shyam. Some of you might know this song. Anyone familiar with this song? Few. Amazing song which glorifies all Krishna's pastimes and how Krishna was saving different devotees. Draupadi, Vidura, Arjuna, everybody. And of course leading to Braj. And one line, one stanza of this song says that my Lord, you saving these devotees in different way, but because they have great devotion towards you. But what can I do if I have no devotion? I'm just standing at your door, and please receive favorably the news of our arrival. So that's all we can do. We can pray because we are at this outer surface of Braj. We have no entrance into real Braj. Of course, we can feel the energy of Braj. But if we would actually enter the real Braj, that would blow our minds for a lifetime. We would never be able to even think of anything in the material world at all. We would never be able to think of anything unrelated to Krishna anymore. But, yeah, it takes mercy. That's why everybody in here is saying Radhe Radhe, because Srimati Radharani is the mistress who is holding the key to this door. And she is also providing the external covering of Braj, because there is one class wherein Srila Prabhupada says Srimati Radharani is always interested. Are you coming to Krishna to serve him or disturb him? If you come to serve, you're welcome. But if you come to disturb him, I will become Durga. I will never let you in. So that's why our attitude and mercy, these are two most important things to enter into the, to get this mystical portal, if you will, be open for us so that we could enter in real Braj. Hare Krishna. Yes, please, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your wonderful class. You made this comment that jealousy and pride is a result of bad association. So it seems like there's a thread, so far what I can understand, that's getting built about association in this pastime. Could you explain about, we saw the example of pride because his bad association, the friends, they pumped him up and then he became proud, oh yeah, I'm the supreme. Could you explain about the jealousy part, or both if you like?
How the jealousy is connected to pride. There is a natural link, because if you are proud, if you think, if I think of myself being really high, then I will be always feeling that I'm not respected enough. Why? Because all the respect I deserve goes to somebody else. And who is that somebody else? For Paundraka it was very clear, it was Krishna. All the respect should go to me, but it is passing by me, it goes to Krishna. Why Krishna? Why not me? Why Krishna is worshipped? Why Krishna is glorified? And, Krishna, this is how Paundraka was thinking, right? We can safely assume that this is how he was thinking, because this is exactly how all the other demons were thinking. He is the king, but he didn't start as a king. He was a cowherd boy. He was just looking after the cows in a village. And by hook and crook, he became a king. And he was always a criminal. He was born in jail. And he was stealing all his life. And also killing. Authorities tried to rectify him, the Mathura authority. Mathura Naresh. He was sending so many of his, top-level officials to arrest Krishna or kill Krishna, whatever. They just wanted to, he just wanted to deal with Krishna one way or the other. And Krishna would kill them all. So stealing, killing, Shishupal, right? He verbalized all these so-called faults of Krishna. And Paundraka could very easily think, he is the king, I am also the king. He used to be a cowherd boy, I never been cowherd boy. I am king, by, the, what do you call it? From the beginning I was a prince, now I am a king. I'm also Vasudev. I was not born in jail. And I was not stealing butter, breaking other people's pots, My behavior was so much better. Why he is glorified? Why not me? This is where jealousy is coming from. So from mundane perspective, he could justify his attitude very easily. But this is the problem with our material perceptions. That's why we need, guidance from someone like Srila Prabhupada to tell us exactly the truth in relation to Krishna. Otherwise, yes, we have these demonic tendencies, and if we come across other people like that, then that's it, we're finished. Thank you. Maharaj, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Also, always very blissful in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you so much, His Holiness Bhakti Rasayana Sagara Swami Maharaj. So grateful for your class. You were speaking about the real Vraja and how it would blow our minds if we would really understand the real Vraj, and that if we could come to this platform, we would never think of anything else unrelated to Krishna. So this is a wonderful platform we all aspire for. And you shared with us that it will take mercy to attain this platform. So could you kindly share with us more about mercy? What is it and how can we receive it?
Well, from my humble understanding, whatever it's worth, it is two things. First, of course, is getting the mercy of Vaishnavas. By the mercy of Vaishnavas, we can get the mercy of the topmost Vaishnavi, Srimati Radharani, by service, developing service attitude. And the other side is purification of the heart. And sometimes that purification might be pretty harsh. We might have to go through pretty harsh experiences. And I have some experience of that in Braj. And I was thinking, why do I have to go through all this pain and all this? And then at some point I've realized that it's a very simple method to help us realize I'm not this body. Because if body enjoys, if we have opportunity to enjoy through the body, it's very, we can theoretically understand I'm not the body, but it's very pleasant to identify ourselves with the body. But if body suffers, you cannot help but think, I don't want to have anything to do with this bag of bones. So you become totally detached. So attraction is formed by service, and detachment is formed by going through difficult experiences in the material world. That's why Srila Prabhupada says, real devotee considers hardships in the material world as another form of Krishna's mercy. And without that, it would be very hard for us to advance in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Allow me to briefly share one passage with Srila Prabhupada and then ask a question also. On this topic of humility, somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, why do we fall into Maya? Prabhupada looked at him, said, you fall into Maya? You're always in Maya. Sometimes you fall into Krishna. So I find this story personally very meaningful. Whenever pride comes, I'm always in Maya. Only when I associate with devotees like here, then I try to fall into Krishna. Question, Maharaj, is that you mentioned the devotional service begins with the sense of gratitude. Can you kindly elaborate on that? Devotional service begins with sense of gratitude.
Devotional service begins with gratitude because our service, it's mentioned so many times in Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures that it has to be unmotivated. Means that we should not desire for a reward for our devotional service or salary. As Prahlad Maharaj says, if I will ask you for something, that will not be service, that's going to be business exchange. I serve, then you pay me, and that's it. Of course, Lord Chaitanya would say that my job is to serve Krishna, and I do want salary, and that salary should be Krishna Prema. But that's the only salary we should aspire for. But no material salary. That means the beginning of real devotional service is to realize how much I already gained by Krishna's mercy, by my Guru's mercy, by Vaishnava's mercy, how tolerant they are towards me, how kind they are towards me. And I also want to reciprocate. I also want to do something to please them in exchange. So we should be catching up with expressing our gratitude through service rather than doing our service hoping to gain something material from that. That's the idea of gratitude as beginning of devotional service, or beginning of developing love for Krishna. Thank you. Wonderful comment and question as well. Actually, in relation to your comment, that point dawned on me here in Vrindavan. It happens sometimes that we do commit offenses, right? And I noticed one time in Braj I committed an offense, and I knew that reaction for this offense should be very severe. And I was expecting the severe reaction for my offense. And then I got unexpected, huge mercy from Krishna. And I was thinking, what is this? I was supposed to get bad reaction for my offense, but I got so much mercy. And then I realized one simple thing, that I commit offenses every day, every hour, every minute, every second. But very rarely I'm recognizing that I committed an offense. And for this recognition I was rewarded. Krishna inspired me, okay, at least sometimes you notice you commit offense. Okay, for this, get your reward. Yeah, in relation to that point that we're always in Maya, but sometimes we're falling in Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Maharaj, I heard you saying that Dravid Gorilla was associate of Hanumanji in Ramlila, and then he fell down, became a demon by bad association. Can you tell what happened, whose association, a little bit more about Dravid?
What happened to Dvivida, how he became demon from being such a great devotee? Yes, because he was jealous of Lakshmana, and he was critical of Lakshmana, and by that he degraded, he left the association of Lord Ramachandra, and he got into bad association, and from there he became a demon. And he lived long life, so he lived long enough to see Krishna Balaram's pastimes. And then, of course, the same Lakshmana, whom he was so envious of, came as Lord Balaram. And of course, he became jealous towards Lord Balaram, and then Balaram kills him like that. Hare Krishna. I think this should be the last one because our time is over and we should not keep devotees waiting. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. In the 6th verse, Paundraka, when he's responding to Krishna, he says, "Oh Sattvat." I was trying to find out why does he say Sattvat, and he says Sattvat means a king of Sattvats. Could you please explain?
Yeah, king of Sattvatas. Sattvatas is a dynasty, dynasty, I'm always confused because in America you say dynasty, in UK dynasty, or other way around anyway. In the lineage, this is the lineage, right? Sattvata lineage Krishna belonged to. But Sattvata also means great devotee, so it was a lineage of devotees. So two meanings to the, one is lineage and the other one is devotees. Sattvata. So he is using this addressing Krishna as Sattvata. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all very much for your kind attention. Hare Krishna.